Hello and welcome to BIM in Revit tutorials. Dear friend, in today's tutorial we have columns and beams, and I would like to show you how to show the overhead lines of the beams on the ground floor. In this case we have ground floor, first floor. The beams are on the first floor, but I wanted to show overhead lines of these beams to the ground floor automatically. I know we have different methods. For example, we can use underlay, and we can show the beams using underlay, and then we can go to detail line. From here we can choose overhead lines or hidden lines, and by clicking one by one we can draw the overhead lines of the beams. But I try to find the solution how to make it automatically, how to add parameter in the beam family. For example, you see this beam is on the first floor, but when we go to ground floor we see the overhead lines of that beam. And now when I select this beam from the ground floor, when we go to 3D view, you see that's the beam we selected. Now I will show you how to do that automatically. We go to edit family, and now this is our beam. You need to go to one of the views or section, and you need to add the reference plane. From here you choose the reference plane, you add the reference plane, and then you using dimensions you need to add one parameter for the length. Now I've already added, just to show one example for those that are don't have a lot of experience with Revit. You need to select now these dimensions, and from here you will add the label, the parameter for dimensions. You can call it with the name you like. Now I will add X or L. As I said, you can choose the name you want. Then you need to go to create and to use model line. Now while I'm making the research about this topic, actually I discover if you have the part of the family that is cut with the section or floor plan or the elevation, all detail elements from annotations that can be detail lines or detail components, they will be visible in that view. That is very useful information. You can use it with windows, with doors. In this case I use it with beams or columns. Now I will show you an example how to use that in this example with beams. All right, now as I said, we go to model line. It won't work if you choose detail line. It will work only with model line. Why I choose the model line? It can be extrusion or revolve sweep element, but the detail lines is quite enough, and with detail lines we can choose the invisible line. So we don't want for this line to be visible in the model, and this is visible line. It's still here, but it will be invisible when we import this beam family into the model. And now it's locked to this reference plane, so when you change the values here, it will change the length of this model line. Why I add this? The reason is that we have different height of the levels. So we need for this detail, for this model line to be cutted with, for example, ground floor. When you go to view range, this is the cut plane. Its height is 120 centimeters, and if the cut plane don't cut any element, in this case it will be the invisible model line, these hidden lines or overhead lines won't be visible into this view. So that's the reason why I add the parameter for the length, so we can increase the length of invisible model line, so it will be cutted with this floor plan, just to show you. Now this is the height of the cut plane, and those are the beams. Now our hidden model line, it's invisible here. It needs to be something like this, you see. And when the cut plane cut it, the hidden lines will be visible in the ground floor. All right, now let's go on the beam, and now I will delete this. I will undo this. It was just an example for the followers that are new in Revit, just to show them the example how to add this parameter. All right, we finish with this. Now you need to go to floor plan of the beam family, and here you need to add the symbolic lines from annotations, or I already added them, you see here. All right, when you add them, just to show you, when you add them, you need to lock them. Just a moment. All right, I will go to filter, and from here I will select the lines I added before, and now you go to symbolic lines, and from here they need to be hidden lines, for example. All right, and now using the line tool, we need to align and to lock them to reference planes. So when we make changes to the beam, these hidden lines will follow all these changes. The changes on length, height, and width of the beams. All right, that's it. Now we need to load into the project, but I will undo it because I don't want all these lines. I already added the lines for this beam. All right, and when we load it into the project on the ground floor, our overhead lines will be visible. Just to show you an example. All right, now I will go on the first floor. From the structure, I will choose the beam, and I will add one beam here, just to see is that the beam. All right, that's the same one. Now I will align it. I will do the same here by trim, using trim tool. All right, and now I will copy it here. Now let's go on the ground floor. There it is. Now I will change this. Here is the parameter for the lines. Now I will change the height to 3 meters or 300 centimeters. And now you see, because the length of the model line isn't enough, so the cut plane of this ground floor level can't cut it. For example, if it's 300 centimeters, okay, I will lock it here. It is a meter, but it isn't enough length, so we need to increase the length of that invisible model line. We add it in the beam family, so the ground floor cut plan can cut it. We just need to select one of these beams, and now we will increase the height, for example, 100 centimeters. Now let's go to ground floor, and you see what you need to be to watch off is that where is the section? This is the section. This line can't be longer than the height of the levels. If this line go to other level, for example, if we have the basement floor here, and if this invisible model line of the beams for first floor go below the cut plan of the basement level, these hidden lines will be visible also in the basement level, and we don't want the beams from the first floor to be visible in the basement. We just not want them to be visible in the ground floor. That's the only thing you must be careful and must watch of. So the length of the invisible line must be enough to be cutted with the cut plane of the floor below. In this case, that's it. That's the ground floor. All right. Now, dear friends, this is all for this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe and to share my works with your friends and colleagues. It can be a very useful tool when you make projects where you have beams visible on the ceiling, and you want for overhead lines to be visible on the floor below. It's very handy trick that can make your work easier. All right, that's all. Please don't forget to subscribe and to share my works with your friends and colleagues. See you in the next tutorial.